Hello everyone, my name is Axemun and today I'm going to be looking at the Shadow Hunter. More specifically, does he still suck after this Mantle of Power update? Because I don't know if you've noticed yet, but I made it very clear that I did not like this class, well, prior to that update. Well, penis. Now to start off with, I'm going to briefly go over why I didn't like this class in the first place. His attacks were way too slow and they didn't deal that much damage. The only skill that really did deal that ton of damage was your ultimate. But bear in mind, for this ultimate skill to do a ton of damage, you had to have the Sure Strike emblem going, and you also needed to have the Martial emblem going. And with all this in mind, you actually needed to land that arrow on the enemy to actually cause the damage. Which of course wasn't easy because that boss is usually surrounded by a ton of other mobs that he spawned up, and is also twice as not easy. That doesn't make any sense because sometimes this skill was very bugged, and even though it would hit the enemy, it wouldn't cause any damage. Now believe me when I say this, when I first made that video, Does the Shadow Hunter Suck?, I got an absolute ton of flack for making that video, which was rather bizarre because I did state at the beginning that this was just my personal opinion and doesn't actually reflect on what everyone else thinks of him. But you know, children can't read or listen. Children can't really do much these days, can they? Children suck. But now, since the Mantle of Power update, have they actually finished that Shadow Hunter? Well, let's find out. To start off with, I actually had to get my Shadow Hunter up to level 25 before I could use that class gem. And my god, before I could use that class gem, getting up to level 25 was a complete drag. It was by far the slowest class I had to level up to 25. You could really see just how far behind with damage output and actually AoE damage output this guy was compared to every other class I have played. But then I hit that magic number, got a level 25, chucked on that class gem, leveled it up. Thankfully, I don't know how the fuck this happened, but I actually got critical hit, critical damage, and I actually got physical damage. I made the perfect class gem. Fuck yeah. And then what happened? You had the class gem. What was it like to use?
Oh, with this fucking shit everywhere,
Yeah, this class is like totally fucking sweet now. I've only got this guy up to level 27 so far, but that's because having a full-time job makes things really fucking difficult to level up and play this game properly. But my god, I'm doing U8 dungeons by myself extremely fucking quickly. And I know I haven't done any U9 dungeons yet, and I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to get my ass handed to me as soon as I step inside them. But still, for this guy to complete U8 dungeons in as little time as this guy does it in, that's pretty impressive. And the fact that each arrow does AoE damage, granted it's not that much, well it actually does do a lot of damage, but the range of the AoE is not that big at all, so the enemies have to be really clustered together. But this does make it a lot easier to clear out entire groups of enemies that are clustered together, because that's what they do anyway. Now, because I'm completely lazy, I don't know if you've all noticed that, but I don't really want to make another review guide of this when this guy's already gone kind of in depth with him. Not really in depth, what am I talking about? Anyway, here's briefly the stats that I put on my Shadow Hunter. On my hand and face I have the exact same stats: maximum health, more maximum health, critical damage, and attack speed. Although I will point out now, you do not need attack speed with this class now that he has the new skill gem. I would switch those stats around and probably put movement speed in them because that's kind of more useful for the Shadow Hunter, but all my other classes use the same gear as well, and they all kind of need attack speed. Okay, except for the Dracolite and Tomb Racer. But still, I did try switching around the stats all the time, but my god, I was flying through those tentacles like some sort of hentai shit. What the fuck? As for my bow, critical hit, critical damage, and energy regen, and of course the obligatory physical damage. Now, for my gems, this is something new. Fucking phone. I'm trying my very hardest to get all of my gems to have critical damage, critical hit, and physical damage. This will be pretty much the only setup you'll want for all of your physical damage dealing classes. Anyway, that's it for my Shadow Hunter Does He Still Suck / gem guide. This wasn't supposed to be a gem guide. How the hell did that happen? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching. Yes, I'm still doing Trove videos. I don't know why people think I've stopped doing them. I've just calmed down with them, and I hope to see you all again soon. You thought I was going to say penis then, didn't you? I just thought some of you might like to know I have a new tattoo of an 8-bit BB-8 that's currently saturated in pepanthen.